Hello from Oslo. I have several comments today about writing. So, in general, I do have some experience. I reviewed over 100 papers for different journals, about 20 master and PhD theses, wrote myself many grants and over 30 papers. So, I already had one video before about general comments, and here a little bit more. So what is important to remember for manuscripts and also for thesis, master thesis, PhD thesis? For example, abbreviations. It is important to introduce all the abbreviations, but also introduce them either one time or as many times as required. For example, some journals will tell you to introduce abbreviation 3 times. First time in abstract, second time in the main text, and the third time when figure legends are explained. So then introduce it 3 times, introduce all abbreviations, but do not use full expression after abbreviation is already introduced. Check journal requirements. Sometimes more references are needed because when strong points are made in the introduction, they should be supported by references, by some published papers. For materials and methods, very common thing, people forget to add the catalog numbers of products. So many journals would expect that company is mentioned, the companies that produce reagents or equipment, also country and city where this is equipment or reagent is produced, but also catalog number. So other people, when they want to make the same experiments, they can easily order the same products. Also regarding centrifugation, in material and methods, people usually forget to put G. They can mention RPM as a centrifuge units, but it doesn't make much sense because different centrifuges will give a different result with the same RPM, rotation per minute. That's why standard unit is a G. Then it's more about style, but sometimes people tend to start sentences. We did this and that, we did this experiment, we did this analysis. As a reader, I would like to see why they did it. So some people start saying that to analyze the data, to discover, to find, to identify something, to investigate something, not just start every abstract with simply we did this experiment, we did this experiment, we did this experiment. As a reader, I'm asking why. Well, maybe I can guess, but it's better if a writer say it. Then some sentences or some paragraphs start with interestingly, strikingly. There is also a comment about it that the least interesting parts of a paper starts with the word interestingly. It's more like a joke, but and also style. If you really like it, use it, but it's not suggested to start many sentences in a paper with interestingly or strikingly. Then units. For example, 0.4 or 0,4. Depending on the country, depending on the journal, both ways can be correct. But in one paper, in one manuscript, in one thesis, choose one style and use one style. Be consistent. Figure orders, figures and tables. It is expected that the figures are introduced in a main text in the same order that they appear. So figure 1, then figure 2, then figure 3, then figure 4, and so on. Do not describe figure 1 and then figure 3. The journal will tell you to fix it, but if you aware and fix it during the preparation of manuscript is better. Statistical analysis. It is important. As a reader, I usually pay attention what is in a paper. Is it reproducible? Is the data validated by several experiments? Is a statistical analysis performed, or everything is based just on one experiment? Sometimes experiments are expensive, metabolomics, proteomics. Sometimes people think that one experiment is enough to conclude something, yes, but as a reader I would like to see, is it made one time? Okay, explain it. Is it made many times? Always the same results? Then there is more trust. Some words can have a different spelling or synonymous, so try to choose one style and use it everywhere in a paper. Affiliations. Sometimes there is also like affiliations can be different, like same person can belong to different universities. It's important to check that they are consistent. In general, it's good to start by checking journal requirement when you start writing paper. It's sort of boring, but it's necessary because sooner or later journal or reviewers will ask to fix it. So it's better to have a manuscript as good as possible. And of course, remember to use Grammarly or something similar, some software which will help to identify small typos. Good luck.